stars, going the independent
Had
route.
19,
Millennials
and
really,
then
for the most part, didn't see that. Millennials looked more towards the institutions. They wanted those institutions to convey the respect on them that their parents didn't. The Zoomers are like, okay, we're out here in the wilderness where
let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. We're self-starters. We don't need anyone. We don't need a corporation.
And their parents love them, so they don't need that validation.
And their parents love them too much.
They've kind of like, maybe it's badass of them, or maybe it's dangerous, but they've kind of rejected the woke ideology a little bit.
Yes, they have, because it's a very the woke ideology is a very millennial
so you
ideology.
have to reject the generation.
Yeah, that ideology is about advancement. It's not. It's about the revenge of the mediocre. It's not about helping actual, genuine people that have been disenfranchised.
Yeah.
It's more about pinning a medal or a ribbon on yourself and saying, I believe the right thing. Give me a job.
Yeah.
I want to be, It's all these people that went to school and they majored in things like gender studies, and then all the boomer right wingers were like, you'll never get a job. It's like, no, they created the jobs.
Yeah.
They created the jobs. They created the institutions. They said, you need a diversity thing. You need a sensitivity reader. You need this. You need a cultural sensitivity czar. And they became all these jobs. And that's what the Zoomers see, how fake it all is. They see through it.
Yeah.
And the millennials do such a bad job of disguising that it's really just like, whether you want to call it a jobs program or the revenge of the mediocre, that's what a lot of that ideology
It's refreshing, though, that the Zoomers see it so clearly.
Yeah.
Like, you speak to some of these kids, and they're painfully aware of how ridiculous it is.
Yes.
They kind of laugh at it, but it's not like they're not progressive about certain things.
Yes.
There's certain things that make sense. Like, they kind of go, yeah, obviously. Like, you don't it's not like their rejection is
They have so
fucking
much
throw
info.
gays off the buildings, right? They don't
Not all of
reject
them.
that. The bad ones.
Yeah.
But there are a little bit, I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, they're
Gay marriage is obvious. It's like, yeah,
exactly. You're like, yo, let them get married, whatever.
but we can also call each other gay, and that's not hateful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they've kind of like evened out in a nice area.
I think that generation would be the one that is going to have the biggest role to play in all of the things we talked about and where America lands.
Yeah, you have the most hope for them.
And whether it's hope, it's certainly interesting to watch. It's everything you're saying is correct. I think it's too soon yet, because I think we could have looked at like these boomers and went, wow, they're really rejecting like this commercialism and all of this stuff, and then literally they turned on a dime. So I don't know which. It's very interesting to watch. But I think the indications are good from that generation, except there's a little nihilism there. And the nihilism is a problem. And the nihilism they can blackpill themselves into.
Explain nihilism a little bit.
The idea that because everything is so terrible and all the information is at their fingertips,
They can't believe any of the information.
They kind of not believe any of it, and they've disconnected emotionally from it. That's why they'll just watch videos of people getting their head chopped off all day.
Also, like, a lot of the drugs are disassociative, right? They're like,
I mean, Euphoria is such an amazing show because it does paint like a pretty accurate perception of what's going on in a California high school. You have people ODing, people struggling with gender identity, violence. You have people's parents, struggling with drugs issues. So it's such a great show. That being said, like, Sam Levinson did a great job of painting an accurate picture. But you watch that show and go, wow, what an amazing show. Then you go, I don't want my kid going there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, I don't want my kid going to Euphoria High.
Yeah.
But the nihilism is interesting. I have noticed that with some of them.
They're a little black-eyed.
They are
black-eyed nihilists.
And I thought it was
my godson, 3 years old, black-eyed nihilist.
Yeah.
Just kind of looks at it, doesn't care.
unaffected.
Doesn't
They've seen
care.
everything.
They're just
I thought
they've seen everything.
You know what's funny? I thought this was I saw a lot of girls that grow up in New York City are like this.
Oh yeah.
Even our generation.
They're going to clubs at 14.
Exactly. They've seen it all. They've
seen
been
it
like
all.
had fucking disgusting old men with their like parents' friends try to fuck them. Like,
Right.
They've seen the world for the worst versions of it. If you're protected in a nice, lovely little.
Uh-oh, buddy.
Shamat.
Not Shamat. This is a nice little queen, buddy.
Work, etc.
Yeah.
You can
Were you ready for that queen to come down the board there, buddy?
They know